Episode 4 of Andor Season 2 was less a continuation and more of a cold reboot, a jarring time jump, a shift in tone, and the beginning of something deeply tragic. 1 year has passed since Brasso's death and the escape from Mina, and Andor wastes no time showing us how much everyone has changed, especially Bix. We pick up in 3 BBY, a full year after the first arc. That's before the Battle of Yavin if you're nasty. And the time skip isn't just a narrative device, it's a gut punch. Cassian and Bix are now hiding in a safe house on Coruscant, one of the show's most important and most depressing sets. It's cramped, dimly lit, and quietly suffocating, a visual metaphor for the trauma they're both carrying. According to Tony Gilroy, this season isn't just about rebellion, it's about love. And for Cassian and Bix, love is both their strength and their weakness. Bix is haunted. Her dreams are infected by Gortz, the monster who tortured her in Season 1. But the nightmares aren't just flashbacks, they're merging with her guilt. In a recent mission, she and Cassian had to kill an Imperial soldier who saw their faces. And now Bix is starting to see herself as no different than the monsters she hates. She's not just broken, she's self-destructing. Cassian, meanwhile, is trying to hold everything together by over-controlling. And that's where we see one of the episode's most important themes, fear of loss. It echoes Anakin's journey. He's not just being paranoid for fun.
The fear of loss is a path to the dark side.
Every time he let Bix out of his sight, something awful happened. First torture, then assault. So when Luthen gives him a new mission and says Bix can't go, he hesitates. And it's not just because of the mission. Luthen wants Cassian to go to Gorman, but what makes this episode click into gear is what's happening on Gorman. The Empire has boots on the ground. Siril has been transferred there and is secretly working with Dedra to infiltrate the Gorman's rebel network. The episode gives us visual cues to suggest how alien Gorman is to Imperial culture. It's a living, breathing society rich with artisan culture, but the Empire treats it like a target, a resource, an eventual sacrifice. One of the best subplots of the episode involves Siril setting up a trap. The man ties floss to his door to see if anyone breaks in. When the thread is broken, he grins. He's being watched, and he loves it. And just as we think he might be turning a corner, we realize no. He's gone full Imperial spy, and his arc is more disturbing than ever. Saw Gerrera makes a return in this episode, receiving weapons from Wilmon. But unlike past portrayals, Saw is unhinged here. Wilmon reports in, but Saw keeps him from leaving. We can see the paranoia, the beginnings of the breakdown that leads to Rogue One. Back on Coruscant, Cassian finds Bix in a sleepwalking daze, weapon in hand. Her trauma has pushed her into a dangerous edge. In the final scene, she takes a small vial of what appears to be a sedative or tranquilizer. Her eyes glaze over. It's a heartbreaking moment that reinforces the cost of rebellion, not just in lives, but in minds. Episode 4 isn't just a slow burn, it's the spark that ignites the fire. It shows us that the rebellion isn't just fighting stormtroopers, they're fighting themselves. Fear, doubt, guilt, and next episode, things get even darker. But what do you think? Did Cassian make the right call with that soldier, or is Bix right to feel haunted by it? What happens when rebels stop being heroes and start becoming tools? Episode 5 of Andor Season 2 takes the growing paranoia and moral ambiguity of the rebellion and plunges it even deeper. Cassian's new identity, Syril's dangerous double life, and a fractured rebel front make this one of the most tensest and revealing episodes yet. We're still in 3 BBY, 1 year after the events of Episode 3. Cassian has arrived on Gorman under the name
Marion Sky,
a stylish fashion buyer with ties to the local fabric industry. The costume alone tells you everything. He's suave, calculated, and for the first time ever, fully embracing the spy role Luthen has always seen in him. Meanwhile, Siril is worming his way into the Gorman resistance with chilling confidence, and Dedra is watching closely. Cyril's entire life is now a performance. He fakes awkward conversations with his mother so the Gormans, who are spying on him, think he's trustworthy. He feeds them what looks like leaked intel, delivery schedules for Imperial construction, and the rebels, desperate to believe, eat it up. The brilliance of this plotline is that it plays on our own hopes. For a moment, Siril almost seems like he might come around, but then he meets up with Dedra, and their cold, awkward chemistry reminds us he's not going rogue. He's falling deeper in. Cassian, meanwhile, playing Marion Sky, meets up with Enza Rylands, daughter of the Gorman Front's leader. It's a delicate dance. He critiques their lack of readiness, their optimism, their trust. And he's not wrong. The Gorman rebels are noble but naive. They've been manipulated into thinking they're building a revolution when they're actually walking into a trap. It's what makes this episode so tragic. Cassian wants to help, but he also sees the writing on the wall. These people will be sacrificed. Back on Coruscant, the ISB is tightening its grip. Partagaz praises Syril's work. The Empire's strategy is now fully clear. Let the rebels grow bold, then crush them. But the episode asks, is the rebellion creating heroes or victims? Meanwhile, Luthen is drowning in information. Too many signals, too many moving parts. He sends Vel to Gorman to replace Cassian, but it's clear he still sees people as pieces on a board. He says he wants Bix strong, but he also ignores Cassian's plea to let her recover. Luthen is becoming what he hates, a tactician who justifies casualties in pursuit of victory. Then we check in on our buddy Wilmon, who's forced to stay and train Saw's unhinged soldiers in the use of stolen rhydonium. Saw is terrifying here, paranoid, erratic, and high on his own madness. When one of his soldiers simply asks for clarity, Saw kills him. The fear of betrayal has consumed him, and it foreshadows the brutal Saw we'll meet in Row 1. Every pairing in this episode is pushed to a breaking point. Bix is using sedatives to numb her pain, and Cassian is still aching to protect Bix. Begins to wonder if he's becoming the very thing he's fighting. Episode 5 doesn't offer easy answers. It asks, who do you become when you fight monsters too long? And when you blur the line between spy and saboteur, can you ever go back to being human? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think Siril is too far gone? Is Cassian right to question the mission? And is Luthen building a rebellion or just setting the galaxy up to burn? What if the worst thing to happen in this war wasn't the Empire? Episode 6 of Andor Season 2 pulls the trigger on everything the past 2 episodes have set up, and the fallout is messy, painful, and far too real. This isn't the glorious birth of the rebellion. It's a gut-wrenching reminder that revolutions come at a cost. We open with Cassian still undercover as Varian Sky, and he's no longer confident in the Gorman front. He's seen their weaknesses, their eagerness, their inexperience, their fractured communication. Luthen doesn't care. He sends Vel to Gorman to take Cassian's place, clearly preparing for whatever blowback is coming. On the surface, the mission is simple. Retrieve proof that the Empire is building an army in Palmo. But the tension underneath, that's what explodes. Clea and Luthen attend a party hosted by Skulden, an art dealer who's unknowingly harboring a rebel listening device. The goal is to retrieve it before his re-examination reveals the truth. Meanwhile, Siril has orchestrated the perfect setup. The ISB will let the rebels go through with their heist just to expose them later. He's giddy. He even gets a personal pat on the back from Partagaz, the greatest day of his life. But then the heist implodes. Vel and Cinta are joined by the Gormans, and here's where it all goes wrong. One rebel, Sam, brings a blaster when he was told not to. Another, Dina, leaves her post to help a civilian. It's not the Empire that blows the operation, it's the rebels' lack of discipline. Cinta is sadly killed, not by stormtroopers, but by friendly fire. Then we see the cost of chaos. Back on Coruscant, Dedra and Partagaz watch it all unfold like puppet masters. This is what they planned, and now they have their justification to crack down on Gorman. Meanwhile, Mon Mothma tries to stay composed in the Senate, watching her political efforts rot in real time. She sees the farce for what it is, but it's far too late to fix anything from the inside. In one of the more surprising sequences, and most suspenseful I would say, Clea retrieves the bug while Lonnie distracts the crowd. The party scene is a whirlwind of political theater. Mothma and Krennic trade veiled barbs, and Bail Organa, now played by Benjamin Bratt, makes his first appearance in this arc.
Not if anything to say about it.
These upper echelon games feel hollow next to the blood spilled on Gorman. But the most cathartic moment? Bix. Alone, focused, and standing over Dr. Gortz, the monster who broke her in Season 1. She straps him to his own machine and calmly repeats his own words back to him.
It will only feel like forever.
The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. Episode 6 isn't just a turning point, it's the moment everything falls apart. The rebellion isn't unified, the Empire isn't just strong, it's patient. And as the credits roll, we're left asking, how many more good people will die before the galaxy finally wakes up? Episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Andor Season 2 paint a chilling picture of what rebellion really costs. We're watching trust dissolve, identities blur, and even the most noble causes start to rot from the inside. Cassian is slipping further into the shadows. Siril is weaponizing belief. And Luthen is making choices that can't be undone. The lines between hero and monster are fading fast. And the worst part? This is only the beginning. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, we would be honored if you would join us